Welcome to Get to the Point with Miranda Burke. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager here at SNP and your host for this series. Now, the nature of this episode is to stay focused on one topic, drill down into the challenges SAP customers face when undergoing mergers or acquisition projects. My job is to keep our featured experts on topic and get straight to the point. In today's episode, we will be focusing on how SNP drives merger and acquisition success with my colleague, Darren Shaw, who is responsible for driving North America Cloud Business and our VP of Marketing. Darren, why don't we get started? Tell us the state of M&A and what's happening out there.
Thanks, Miranda. So a lot of it hasn't changed. There's nothing new. Companies acquire other companies and spin off parts of their business for the same reasons now than they did when companies first emerged. Economies of scale, increasing market share, getting into a brand new region, all the typical things that you've read about in your Business 101 handbooks. The only difference is now you see a lot more innovation through acquisition as opposed to innovation via internal R&D. Because if you think about it, if it takes you 18 months to pull a deal together to acquire new technology versus spending 8 to 10 years doing your own R&D with some percentage of that failure, you might as well buy the company, right? It's a lot easier. The other thing that's also consistent, which is not a good thing, is that over 50% of mergers fail. And by fail, I don't mean the company goes out of business. I mean that the intent, the business benefits, the cost savings misses the plan.
Now, talk more about the failure rate, and specifically with what respect does technology play a part in, or does it play a part?
Yeah, the emphasis is on does not play a part. Unfortunately, technology and the office of the CIO is still viewed by many as a cost center and not a profit center, and therefore not as included as it should be in strategic decision making, such as mergers and acquisitions. Here's some stats, for example, right? About 56% of CIOs aren't even informed about the company's M&A strategy. Only about 20 to 30% of CIOs are made part of the decision-making process. Only about 56% of companies consider IT issues during due diligence. And about 40% of companies that hire M&A consultants do so with people that don't know IT, which is a problem. And the results reflect this issue because in many surveys they've looked at the state of IT after a merger, and about 60% report that everything is the same. Now you think that, okay, a tie is a win. It's not, because what you want is your two costs on both sides to be reduced once you merge them together because of synergies and aligning processes and stronger procurement and all the various benefits that you think about. But when you hear 60% end up in a tie, which means the costs are still the same, not good.
So where should technology get involved in the M&A process, and specifically, how can SNP help?
Okay, so a lot of you may know, some of you may not, that there's 5 phases to the typical M&A process.
Darren, make sure we stay to the point. 5 sounds like a lot.
5, okay, 5, fair enough. 5 is a lot. I will get to the point. Fair enough. Okay, number 1, strategy phase, right? If you're going to be growing by acquisition a lot, you should have an IT M&A playbook. That playbook can include SNP's solutions so that you have a planned timeline for data harmonization, systems consolidation, and other various IT-related aspects. It's going to help you a lot down the road. Number 2, target screening. A lot of times in a deal, you aren't able to dig into the systems and the data of the company that you're trying to acquire, but you can look at metadata, and SNP's analysis software will allow you to look at how their system is used and configured and structured, but not looking at actual PII or PHI data, which will give you a much better view up front of the company that you're acquiring from an SAP standpoint. Due diligence is pretty obvious, right? You want to use our tool sets to then dig down deeper into the details, look at how close to or how far away the target company's SAP system is with respect to best practices, looking at interfaces, myriad aspects of their system. The fourth stage of M&A is the actual transaction execution. We're not an advisory company. We can't help you sign on the dotted line, but we can give you more information up front. And then the actual integration phase is probably the number one place where we shine, and that is you can use the automation power of our software to harmonize data and merge the systems together in one go live at about anywhere from 50 to 75% less time and at least 50% less cost with lower business and delivery risk.
Darren, can you share any real-life examples of merging SAP systems?
Sure. First, a small plug. We've done about 1,300 M&A related projects over the past 5 years in about 30 different industries. So we understand the process, we understand how to do it, and we also understand the industry nuances, just to want to cram that point in there. But in terms of some examples, first and foremost, we were responsible for the consolidation of SAP systems as part of the largest merger in the chemical industry in the world. And we still work with that new entity today to acquire other businesses, as well as some reorganizations and some divestitures. We merged a business unit from NKT and 3 from ABB into a single system. We performed the go lives over 3 simple weekends. And I guess the third one that comes to mind is Airbus. Now, this was not a merger per se, but technically in terms of consolidating disparate systems together, which is the case of a target and acquisition. We helped Airbus consolidate 5 ECC systems into one. Included in that go live was a migration to S4HANA, as well as some pre-projects as well, and we reduced the data footprint by about 50% by also implementing a selective data migration, which helped reduce downtime and also helped reduce risk.
So how does our support for M&A activities relate to our mantra, right data, right place, right time?
So right data. Right data means accurate data, which means that when you're merging 2 systems, you need not just a consolidated system, but cleaned up, harmonized data, so that as a digital company, being data-driven decision makers, that's the goal, you have that right, clean information, because you can't have analytics running on top of messy data. You could, but garbage in, garbage out. Right place really relates to where you put that consolidated data. You don't have to have all of your production environment data in your source and target merged into a single production environment. You can, but it's a lot more cost effective if you put some of that history, for example, into a cost effective but accessible alternate location. And that could be cloud native data lake. It could be in BW. Name the place you want to put it, fine, put it there. But it doesn't all have to be within production. Again, so long as that data is clean, right data, right, and in a place where you can access it whenever you need it for whatever purposes, but not pay production environment pricing for it. And right time is really just get on with it. And there's there's another factor there as well. Right time is there's no need to do what too many companies have done, and that's put off merging the systems. But nowadays, you're not going to get any business synergies without technology involvement. And so if you're going to get any of those business synergies, if you're going to get any cost synergies, you have to look at the technology layer of the organizations that you're merging together. And And delaying that means delaying your digital transformation, means delaying getting to your digital core. And you can now do that faster and cheaper, but with less delivery risk and, more important, less business risk, because SNP is particularly good, in fact, I'll say it's the best, at minimizing technical downtime to keep your business up and running during transformation.
Who should reach out to SNP for help consolidating SAP systems as a result of an acquisition?
Okay, if you're an advisory firm and you're looking to provide additional value to your customers who are looking to acquire or to be acquired, you could use our software to do detailed analyses of these systems to help mitigate the technology risk with regard to consolidating systems as part of that merger. If you are the company itself doing the acquiring, you could pull us in really at any phase of the 5-phase life cycle that I mentioned earlier on. You can bring us up front to help you with the strategy by understanding our capabilities and putting that into your timelines. You can use our software as part of due diligence. You can use our software as part of the actual post-signature integration, actually doing the work. And if you are listening to this and you are a global systems integrator and your clients are pressuring you for significantly shortened timelines and costs to consolidate systems as part of a merger or acquisition, but also asking you for a heck of a lot less risk, please give us a call. We work with any and every systems integrator, and we can easily fit into your methodology and project plan to help your clients.
Great, Darren, thank you. This has been Get to the Point with Miranda Burke. So if you would like to continue the discussion today, please reach out to today's guest, Darren Shaw, or myself, or fill out the form at the bottom of the screen and an expert will be in touch. Looking forward to the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks.